Hi, everybody. This is Christy, and this is the only moment that's real. Just wanted to hop on here today. We got through, I feel like, the weekend, and I know I woke up this morning and it felt like the world was very heavy. There's a lot going on. We've been stuck in our houses, not stuck. In some places, we're still allowed to go out, but I feel like we're getting closer to that point where we can't get out of the house. There are many people out there that have been stuck in their house for a week or even more. And I feel like that the energy is getting heavy, and I think people have been put into a situation and they really they have gotten no guidance on, what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to process, how they're supposed to deal with their children, how they're supposed to deal with their spouse, and how they're supposed to deal with themselves. So I want to start talking today about the word hope. What does hope mean to you? Right now, there's so much uncertainty, and I know that I teach that to live in the present moment, and a lot of people are in a place where they don't want to be here in the present moment. They're stuck in a house that might not be safe, or they're stuck in a situation they're not happy with, and they're watching television, they're watching the news, they're on Facebook, and they're getting pulled into this uncertainty. There's a lot of people that don't have jobs right now. They are working for themselves. They're massage therapists. They cut hair. They do, fix people's houses. They do fix people's cars. There are so many different people. Everybody out there does something different, and they all need to make money. And right now, the uncertainty with money is overwhelming. And I just want to go back and discuss the main things to kind of help you ground yourself, get yourself back to this present moment, and to really explore what it takes for you to know yourself. You have time to do it. I know there's a lot of people that are out there looking for projects to do, and they're building things, and they're painting, and they're fixing their houses up, and they're now teachers for their children. They're working from home. I just want you to know that right now, if you take those pauses and tell yourself that it's okay for you to start looking inside yourself and understanding yourself and these thoughts that are popping up in your head and how to deal with them. There's a lot of people online right now that are trying to help as many people as possible. There's yoga instructors, there's musicians. We did had a great time on Saturday night. There's a DJ in our area. I don't know his name, but I'll probably pop that up in there. We were playing games, and we turned on Facebook, and he was on, and it just changed the energy. His family had great energy. He had great energy, and he was playing great songs, and we listened to him for about 3 hours before he put everybody to bed. So it's understanding that we can look at the situation and make it a horrible situation. We can do that. Or we can really look at the situation and try to be grateful and find the good stuff in it. And I know a lot of you are like, F you, girl, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what is happening in my world. You have absolutely no idea my life. And I don't. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know what's happening in your life, because I don't. Just like you don't know what's happening in my life. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat everything and say everything's great. And I know that the outcome's going to be amazing. And I know everything after this is going to be great. I don't. So I understand that this is the only moment that's real, and this is the only moment I can handle right now. I can only handle me sitting here looking at you and having a conversation with whoever's going to listen to this. That's all that I can handle right now. I cannot allow myself to think what's going to happen to my family, what's going to happen to my friends, what's going to happen next week, what's going to happen if I run out of toilet paper, all of the things that social media, the news, they all want you to get on that fear bandwagon. And I know that a lot of it is information that they want to give you, but then people hop on and they want to tell you, this is what's actually happening. And then you get 16 million posts about what's actually happening to other people. And then some of the stuff isn't real. So you're on these different trains of trying to figure out what's real and what's not real. Come back to this present moment. Where are you at right now? Are you at home? Are you sitting at home in front of the computer and you're exhausted? Where are you right now? Bring yourself back to this present moment. Hit the reset button. Calm those thoughts down, okay? Because right now, if you're in your house and there's nothing else for you to do, come back to this moment and find the hope that you can find in the moment. Find the gratitude that you can find in the moment. And I know a lot of you are like, I have no hope. There's nothing left. I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage. I'm not going to be able to feed my kids. I'm not going to be able to, and you're going to go off on those trains. Everything is uncertain. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't know if the world's going to help us next month to pay our bills. We don't know if the mortgage and the banks are going to say, hey, you don't have to pay us. We understand we're human beings and we were all in a bad place and we're all going to help each other out. We don't know where we're going to go. Now, I know in the past, what we've learned, and that's how we move forward, is that in the past, nobody bailed us out. We've been in many situations where we had opportunities for people to bail us out, but they went and they bailed out the people that we felt they shouldn't have bailed out. So right now, we are only going on what we know, and what we know is what we've learned in the past. So what if I told you, if right now you can reset that and you can change those past thoughts? Now, I understand that you're like, but that's how we learn. Like, you stick your finger in the fire and it burns, not to stick your finger in the fire again. So that's how we learn things. Well, let's just say that right now, in this present moment, that you're capable of saying, I have to pause and trust and have hope that tomorrow is going to get better. And it may get worse before it gets better. But right now, hope is what we're looking for. We're looking for that feeling of hope. Do you even know what that feels like for you anymore? Have you even thought about what hope is? Because what usually happens is you think of hope and then you go to that negative immediately. It blocks you and says, no, you can't have hope because every time you've had hope, something horrible has happened. So why are you going to waste your time having hope when all this horrible stuff happened? Or why are you going to have hope when you are already thinking that something horrible is happening? So your thoughts are huge. Your mind is what makes your perception. So if you're going to sit and you're going to be miserable and you're going to think constantly like, I just started a brand new business and I'm not going to make it. Everything's going to fall apart. I have to redo my entire life. Stop right now. You may not have $0 to your name. You have a roof over your head right now, and you're capable of dealing with what's happening in the present moment. That's where you need to come back to. And you need to remember what hope feels like. So what I want to talk about is, how do you find that hope space? How do you remember what hope feels like? There's wonderful people doing meditations out there. There's meditations galore on YouTube. I can teach you some meditations, but I'm not going to sit here and close my eyes and meditate with you. I feel like that meditation is an intimate thing that you need to go through. And what I want to do is just set you up on how to find that hope meditation. And one of the things before you even start this is understanding that you're going to cry, most likely, and that's okay. We are all on like the needle, the haystack, the broke the camel's back, whatever those things. We are on the edge of the cliff and we are getting pushed over and our toes are hanging over it right now. And we are like, what is happening? So crying is a very natural thing. And I support that you do it. And I said it in my last live video, is find a place and cry. If you have kids, when they go to bed at night tonight, get in the bathtub, take a shower, take a bath, and just sit in there and just cry it all out. Cry that you have no money. Cry that all this is a mess. Cry that you don't know what's going to happen. Cry that you're over all this stuff. Just let it out. Just cry it out into the water and let it go straight down the drain. If you're done crying, breathe. Take those breaths. There's a lot of people online that are teaching breath work. Go find somebody that you like, listen to their breath work, and take those breaths. I do the 3 breaths. It's 4 breaths, but the 4th breath is your breath. So you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. You breathe in through your nose, and that second breath, when you blow out, you're going to blow everything out. You're going to take another deep breath in, and you're going to blow out. And then you take that other breath and blow out. But I want you to just notice right now what you're grateful for. When things are big and the world is out of control, you want to look for tiny things to be grateful for. The fact that you have a shirt you have a cup that you can drink your tea out of, you have a family. If you're home alone, that you have a couch that you could sit on. or that you have food in your refrigerator. Find the tiny little things that you can be grateful for, because what's happening when you start being grateful, that changes your brain. It's already proven that when you start on that gratitude train, it starts to change your emotions, okay? And then I just want you to feel what it feels like to be grateful. And I know that there's going to be this thing in your head that's telling you to shut up, you're wrong, you're not grateful, everything sucks, the end of the world, that's the thing that you have to calm and say to yourself, we're okay right now. We are okay. It is okay. Talk to yourself. It's okay for you to talk to yourself. I know a lot of people are like, well, there's something wrong with me if I talk to myself. Well, talk to yourself. Tell yourself, I am okay. I am okay. We are in a safe place. And if you're not, reach out to me. Hopefully we can get you somewhere that's safe. But if you're in a safe place and you're okay, calm yourself down in that way. Take those breaths, go into that gratitude choo-choo trains, those trains of thought of what you're grateful for. Little things. I'm grateful for my cell phone. I'm grateful that I have internet. I'm grateful that I have a television. I'm grateful that I'm not sick. I'm grateful that whatever, but keep it small. Don't go on the big scales. Like I'm grateful I have $1 million or whatever. Right now, just keep it, because all I want you to do is start to feel what it feels like to be grateful. Pay attention to how it resonates inside of you. Where does it come from? Is it something that resonates from your heart, your head, your back, your legs, your feet, wherever you feel what grateful feels like? Find it. Resonate it through your whole body. Breathe into it. Feel that feeling. Allow that to encapsulate you, okay? Because right now, fear is killing everyone. It is attached to you and it is sucking the life out of you. And that, in turn, if you're in a house with people, they're feeling that fear and their fear is triggered, especially children. And if you're the person in the house who is holding everything together and you have fear, then everybody else is in the house is going to have fear. And remember, a lot of these things people are not going to say to you. Do you feel like you have fear? Mom, I'm having fear right now. These are things that people don't even want to talk about. So we're just shoving that down. But to process it is to have that moment of when you feel that, start playing with that grateful feeling. And then feel what that next thought comes up. And if it's that negative thought, smile at yourself and say, there it is. There's that negative thought. I found it. And just say to yourself, right now, we're okay. Send that thought away. Go back. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for the lamp, that I have a lamp. Laugh at yourself. Because once you think that, something else is going to pop out, that negative thing. Just look at it again and say to yourself, I found it. I found another thing that's in my head. And just tell yourself, we're okay. We don't need to think about this right now. That's processing those feelings. You're allowing yourself to process. When that comes up, have a conversation, say you see it, I see you. I'm not going to allow you to take over my brain. And now I'm going to think of something I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I have a bed. And feel that. Because what that is that gratitude is going to start shifting in your head. It's going to change your thought process and it's going to bring you back to hope. What is hope? That's up to you. One of the things that I teach is that my feeling of what hope is not the same of your feeling of what hope is. My feeling of gratitude is not the same way as you feel gratitude. We're all human, but we're all different. And that's the beauty in all of this. Even though the world right now feels like it's falling apart, we're all understanding that we're human beings, that we are all connected by that being human. And that the fact that if anybody's different around us, it doesn't even matter right now. Because this thing that's out there, it doesn't care what you look like, what your religion is, or what you do for a living and how much money you have in a bank. It doesn't think, it doesn't have that. So understand that right now we are all human. So reach out to each other, have a conversation with each other. Call someone you haven't called in a long time, someone that you might have had a grudge with. Just reach out. And another thing, if you have elderly people in your area, you can't go and you can't hang out with them. Go to their house before they open the door and just have a little sign and say, what's your phone number? I'd like to call and just check in on you from time to time. That's the humanity. That's the beautiful things that can come out of this horrendous experience that we're all going through, this new experience that nobody's really sitting here teaching us how to process and how to go through it. And we're sitting at home trying to figure out, what am I supposed to be doing? And it's all just coming at you. And when you sit at home alone in silence, it can be scary. People are like, meditate. Meditation can be extremely scary because it's you by yourself with your thoughts. And I know when I got stuck in the house, that was the scariest thing for me to do, is just sit in silence, because all of these thoughts came up about how stupid I was and how I didn't do stuff and how I should be doing something right now and I'm not good enough and I shouldn't be here and all those things just hit me all day long. So it's important to find some kind of good feeling inside of you to counteract that negative feeling that's coming up. Turn off the television. Set a time for yourself to watch the news to get your information. Do not do it at the end of the night. Do not do it before you go to bed. If you watch the news and then you think you're going to be able to go to bed, it's not going to happen because your brain is just going to go off saying, we should be doing this, we should, and you're going to be driving yourself crazy trying to predict what you're going to do tomorrow. And that is going to destroy you. You need the rest. And right now, if you don't really have to have your kids at school right now. You really don't have to be teaching your kids anything right now. Teach them about feelings. Teach them about themselves. Teach them how to communicate with you. That's what we should be doing right now. Math and all that stuff, maybe next week. But give them the pause and open up space to allow them to communicate with you what their feelings are. And I'm going to tell you their favorite thing they're going to say is, I don't know. My significant other, he loves that. I don't know. And I have to continue provoking in that way to get what's behind I don't know. I don't know is a wall, okay? And sometimes with children, they say I don't know because they really have absolutely no clue how to verbalize what they're feeling because nobody's taught them that. Same things with adults. You've been waking up every morning your entire life, most of you. You get up, you go to school, okay? You graduate from school, you go to college, or you go to work. But there's a pattern in your life that gets you out of bed and gets you going. Right now, we don't have that pattern. That boundary is broken, and you are kind of lost. Reset those boundaries. And if you're home with your family, reset them in a good way. Say, look, everybody's sleeping till 11 o'clock. If you get up early, what are we going to do in the morning? We're going to sit down and we're going to play nice music and we're going to relax and we're going to read a book and we're going to communicate. We're going to draw. We're going to do whatever they want to do and what you want to do. Give yourself space to allow yourself to reinvent your family, reinvent your life, reinvent everything. This is what the universe has given us, this beautiful gift of being by ourselves with our families. When every day, what do you say? I don't have enough time for my kids. I don't have enough time for myself. Well, guess what? Here's your sign. There's all your stuff. Sit back and reevaluate it. If you're a person that likes to write stuff down, write down a list, have a meeting with your kids. Guess what? Let's have a meeting. Let's figure out what we're going to do on a day-to-day basis. Allow them to communicate. What you're doing is you're building up a foundation of communication. So once this is all over and they're back at school, that they can come back to you and communicate with you what their feelings are. What are their feelings? What are your feelings? That's a beautiful thing. I do this with my families and with my teens. What are feelings? What does that mean? Play with that stuff. This is your time. If we focus on the fear and we focus on the negativity and we focus on the things that we cannot control, we're going to be fearful and lose hope, okay? If we focus on the fact that now we have control over our thoughts, our perceptions, and our emotions, we can sit down with our families and we can do it over, I don't know what they have now, Zoom, Skype, I don't know, I'm old school, all this is very new to me. Whatever it is to communicate through the internet and have those conversations. But it's now time for you to go within yourself and understand that the past is the past. It doesn't exist. And yes, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in my past that's horrifying. And I had to work through it and let it go. But right now, we don't need to deal with that. My PTSD, this is a huge trigger for them. It's change. Once something changes in a pattern, if you see this in your kids, a lot of kids are like this. Once their pattern changes, they get very aggravated and frustrated and they don't know how to deal with what's happening because they've gone in flight or flight because we've changed a boundary. This is when you can sit with them and you can help them breathe. Breathing is huge. You want to wake up every morning and do something great with your family? Breath work. Go on YouTube. There's breath work places all over the place. Find somebody who's online doing it. Reach out to them and say, what's a good breath activity that I can do with my kids? It's all shifting right now. What's an art project I can do with my kids? That's great. Go back to the inner you in your human body. What are the things that you can do to create this and change it so you can communicate better? You can process feelings better. What can you do in your daily basis now while you're sitting at home and you're watching the 15th rerun of a show that you've seen 150 times because it's making you numb, but your brain's still going on the choo-choo trains? How can you change those things? What I need from you guys is I need to find out what is happening in your world. Right? Please comment. What is the one thing right now that is jabbing you every day, that's taking the breath out of you? What is that one thing that is happening every day that you can't change? Let me know, because I'm still working on these YouTube videos, on getting the YouTube videos up and getting the information out to you guys to help you through this process. So let me know what you need. Please share this. I only have so many friends, and I don't really know how Facebook works. Share it. Tell people to listen to it. If you're getting something from it, they're going to get something from it. I put a lot of information in the videos because you may need something I said, and then other things you're not picking up on, but somebody else might pick up on something that you're not picking up on. And that's okay, because we're all in different processes right now. We're all in a different place. So please share the video. Let them know who I am. Comment on here if you don't know who I am, if you need anything from me. That's my job. I'm a mindfulness practitioner. I changed my life. I used to be a real estate agent, and I switched my life to help as many people as possible understand that the only hell that there is, we create in our heads. And if I can teach people how to understand their thought process and change their perceptions, it's going to help them with their feelings, and it's going to change their entire life. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't have fear right now. Because I have to stand process go, not allow it to stay stagnant inside of me. So it starts building and building, and I get irritated and frustrated and aggravated and then blow up. I know how to kind of get where it needs to be, vocalize the information to someone who I can vocalize it to, and then allow it to process through me. And then when the next wave of fear comes up, I'm capable of doing the same thing. But I've been doing this for 6 years. I teach people how to do this. And I have to say, it's simple in a way that the way that the process happens, it's simple, because once that little light flicks and you understand how to kind of understand the thought process, everything shifts for you. But it's up to you to decide how you're going to do it. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not really a therapist. I'm just someone who opens space, listens to what you have to say, and just gives you back what you told me. And then I'm going to say, hey, why don't you try this tool, mindfulness? Go out and try it out. My website. This is my website. This is the onlymomentthatisreal.com. I have testimonials up there of people who have used mindfulness and how it's changed their lives. Check it out. Go to my mindfulness. There's a free 20-minute consultation. If you want to talk to me and vomit, I call it verbal vomit, where you just got to let everything out because you got nobody else to talk to, set up an appointment. I'll call, I'll listen. I'll allow you to have that space to let it all out and then to breathe and maybe cry. I give that safe space. That's my job. That's what I do. So right now, everything on the website, pricing and everything, it's purely donation. I really don't know how to change everything on the website. So it's donation based. If you can't give me anything, you can't give me anything. I know how the world works. So if I help people, it'll come in other ways. I'm not worried about that. If you can donate $1, donate $1. If you and let me know you're going to donate $1. Got to figure out how to do all that stuff. But if you just need somebody to talk to, please reach out to me. I'm waiting for you to call me. I'm waiting for you to get in touch with me. I'm waiting for you to start the process of letting go of all this fear. And I have to tell you, it's heavy right now. You might not understand what that means, but just because everybody in the world's feeling fear, that energy is out and we are all picking it up. And one of the things I teach is how to block that, how to cut the cords from that, and how to learn how to breathe so you don't have to feel everybody else's fear. It's hard, but I can at least help you enough to get to a point where you're breathing again and you kind of feel safe and you can find hope. Hope is the word that I'm kind of jumping on this morning. I woke up, I meditated, and I worked through a lot of stuff that I was feeling. I'm reading a lot of emails. I'm talking to a lot of people. People are contacting me on Facebook. And one of the things that people are talking about is the uncertainty. And for me, the opposite of uncertainty is hope. And that's something I teach, how to flip the script, take a negative and make it a positive, and then feel it in the positive. So I hope that you guys got something from this. Please share this. Send it to people who you think might need it. If you have elderly people that don't have anybody they're with, send it to them. Let them listen to them. Let them reach out to me. Let them have conversations with me. And like I said, if you're the person in the house that everyone's dumping stuff on, or you're the friend that everyone's calling and dumping stuff on, it is important. You Okay, that person right there that is getting everyone's stuff and is dumping it, please contact me, because you're the ones that are keeping people afloat, but nobody's really helping you stay afloat. So if you feel like that you're that person that everybody's dumping on, and you got to get rid of all the stuff that's on your back, that's who I am. I'm here to take that all away from you. I'm here to teach you how to help yourself when these people are talking to you, so you don't have to shut down and lock the door and hide from everyone because you can't take any more of what people are saying to you. That's what I'm here for. I know how to do that. I know how to protect myself. I know how to listen to what you have to say and let it go. I know how to process it. And if you're someone that wants to learn how to do it, I'm happy to teach you. But right now, please comment on the things that you need help for. Are you fearful? Are you I mean, right now that's the only thing I can think of. Are you lost? Are you feel broken? Are you overwhelmed? You can't take it anymore? Contact me, please. So here's my contact information, just because I'm still don't know how to use all this stuff. So I'm just going to put that up there. There we go. This is my card. That's my phone number. That's my email. The top is my website. Okay. Reach out to me. Like I said, everything right now is just opened and free. It's donation based. If you can give it, you can give it. If you can't, you can't. My only concern right now is to help as many people as possible process what is happening in the world, so they can be home with their family and find happiness and peace. And if you need anything, let me know. I'm here. And I hope that you can all find, if only for 5 to 10 minutes a day, a place of contentment and peace. And it all starts with being grateful and having gratitude for the littlest things you can think of. Love you guys.